Imagine a life filled with unimaginable wealth, endless luxury, and the power to influence global events. Now, imagine that this life was built on deception, manipulation, and one of the biggest financial frauds the world has ever seen. This is the story of Jho Low, a man who, with his charm and cunning, orchestrated the 1MDB scandal, a scandal that would shake governments, tarnish reputations, and leave billions unaccounted for. But who is Jho Low? How did he rise to power? And where is he now? Today, we delve into the life of the man behind the billion-dollar heist, uncovering the rise and fall of Jho Low. Early life and education. Jho Low was born in 1981 in Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia. His family was part of the Chinese-Malaysian elite, with connections that spanned the globe. The Low family wasn't just wealthy, they were exceptionally well-connected, a factor that would play a significant role in Jho's future dealings. From a young age, Jho was exposed to a world of privilege. He'd attended the prestigious Chung Ling High School in Penang before being sent to Harrow School in London. Harrow, a school known for its elite alumni, including Winston Churchill, was where Jho began forming relationships with the children of the world's most powerful families. His education continued at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most respected business schools in the world. It was here that Jho Low began to cultivate a network of influential friends, including future heads of state and business leaders. But Jho's ambitions were always grander than just being another wealthy businessman. He was determined to make a name for himself on a global scale, and his education and connections were the tools he would use to achieve this goal. Even during his university years, Jho was already involved in business deals, particularly in real estate. He was known for throwing lavish parties and living a lifestyle far beyond the means of an ordinary student. But this was just the beginning. Jho Low had a vision to create a global financial empire, and he would stop at nothing to make it a reality. The rise, the beginning of 1MDB. In the early 2000s, after graduating from Wharton, Jho Low returned to Malaysia with a plan. He wanted to establish himself as a major player in global finance, leveraging his connections and business acumen. He started by forming a series of investment firms through which he orchestrated several high-profile deals in Malaysia and the Middle East. But his real breakthrough came in 2009 when he became the key architect behind the creation of One Malaysia Development Berhad, better known as 1MDB. 1MDB was a sovereign wealth fund established by the Malaysian government with the stated purpose of driving economic development through global partnerships and investments. However, Jho Low had other plans. With the backing of then Prime Minister Najib Razak, who had close ties to Low, 1MDB quickly became a tool for Jho to funnel billions of dollars into his own accounts and those of his associates. It was an audacious scheme, built on a web of deceit, complex financial transactions, and an intricate network of shell companies. The 1MDB scandal, a web of deceit. The 1MDB scandal is often described as one of the most brazen and complex financial frauds ever committed. At its core, it was a scheme to siphon billions of dollars from Malaysia's sovereign wealth fund into private accounts controlled by Jho Low and his associates. But how did he pull it off? Jho Low's strategy was as bold as it was intricate. He exploited the lack of oversight in 1MDB, creating a series of fake companies that appeared to be legitimate business partners. These companies would then enter into bogus agreements with 1MDB, funneling money into offshore accounts that were ultimately controlled by Jho Low. Over several years, Jho Low and his co-conspirators embezzled approximately $4.5 billion from 1MDB. The stolen money was used to fund an opulent lifestyle that included everything from luxury real estate and private jets to expensive art and even Hollywood films. One of the most infamous examples of this spending spree was the financing of the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, a film that ironically depicted a similar tale of greed and corruption. But the scale of the scandal went far beyond personal indulgence. The stolen funds were also used to bribe officials, influence elections, and secure lucrative contracts for Jho Low's businesses. The scandal had far-reaching consequences, not only for Malaysia, but for the global financial system. As investigators began to unravel the complex web of transactions, it became clear that 1MDB was not just a financial scandal, it was a global criminal conspiracy. Jho Low had managed to deceive some of the world's most sophisticated financial institutions, using a combination of charm, audacity, and an intricate understanding of global finance. The scandal eventually became too big to ignore. In 2015, reports began to surface about the missing billions, and investigations were launched in multiple countries, including the United States, Switzerland, and Singapore. The U.S. Department of Justice described the 1MDB scandal as the largest kleptocracy case it had ever pursued. The fall, global manhunt, and evasion. As the 1MDB scandal unraveled, Jho Low found himself at the center of a global manhunt. The Malaysian government issued a warrant for his arrest, and the U.S. Department of Justice filed charges against him for money laundering and other financial crimes. But Jho Low was always one step ahead. Using his vast wealth and connections, Jho Low managed to evade capture, moving between countries like China, Thailand, and the United Arab Emirates. He reportedly underwent multiple plastic surgeries to alter his appearance and used fake identities to avoid detection. Despite being one of the most wanted men in the world, Jho Low managed to stay hidden, leveraging his connections with powerful figures in various countries to secure his safety. His ability to remain at large despite the intense scrutiny and international pressure is a testament to the scale of his influence and the resources at his disposal. However, his life on the run was far from the glamorous existence he once enjoyed. Jho Low's world had shrunk to a series of safe houses and clandestine meetings, far removed from the luxury and opulence that defined his earlier years. The legacy and ongoing search. Today, Jho Low remains a fugitive, his whereabouts unknown. The 1MDB scandal continues to cast a long shadow over Malaysia and the global financial community. In Malaysia, the scandal contributed to the downfall of Prime Minister Najib Razak, who was convicted of corruption and sentenced to prison. Globally, the 1MDB scandal has led to increased scrutiny of financial institutions and the implementation of stricter anti-money laundering measures. Several banks and financial institutions were fined for their role in facilitating fraudulent transactions, and the scandal has become a cautionary tale for regulators and financial professionals alike. Despite the ongoing search, Jho Low has remained elusive, and much of the stolen money has not been recovered. His ability to evade justice has frustrated authorities and raised questions about the effectiveness of international law enforcement cooperation. As the world continues to grapple with the fallout from the scandal, the story of Jho Low serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked greed and ambition. The MDB case is ongoing, and the world watches as the saga of Jho Low, the mastermind behind one of the greatest financial heists in history, continues to unfold. And so, the story of Jho Low remains one of the most intriguing and complex tales of modern financial crime. As investigations continue, will Jho Low ever be brought to justice, or will he remain a ghost, forever eluding the authorities? Only time will tell.